Hello, today we are going to learn how to make interactive slides on Google Slides. I would like to show you an example of what we were going to learn today. On the first slide, I always ask the students to make sure that they put the presentation in present mode so all of the features can be used. Then, when we are ready to start, this is their first slide. The name of the quiz is Name That State, where they can practice naming states in the United States. So what they can do is go to this here where it says Start Quiz and click on Start Quiz. Now, the first thing you'll notice is they have a picture of a map and one state with a question mark and also a clue. The Pacific Ocean borders this state to the west. So they have three choices here that they can choose from. Let's say that they choose Oregon first. If you click on Oregon, they'll see that that's not correct. And I like to give them another clue to help them on the way so they don't just guess. So now the capital of the state is Olympia. They can click Try Again. They go back to the original question, and hopefully they know from that clue to click on Washington. Then you can see they are given a slide that tells them they're correct, and they can go on to the next question. The next question then, the state is landlocked with Minnesota to the north, Missouri to the south. So if they just choose the first one once again, it will say try again. A new clue or an additional clue is given. So they hopefully will get it right the second time. They click try again, and they can figure out that it is Iowa. And so they can go on and they can go to the next question, which I just have a blank screen for the next question. So now that you see what we are going to do, let's learn how to make this presentation. In order to make a Google Slides presentation, the first thing that we need to do is we need to open Google Slides. I like to start with a blank presentation with no themes, so I can create my own. If you close out the themes and then delete the text boxes that are already provided for you, you can start fresh with a blank slide. The next thing I'm going to do is insert a text box for my first clue. So I then choose my first clue, type it out for the students. And then go ahead and make my three choices that the students can choose from. Once you've typed whatever your answer is, you can always change the size, change the font. You can center it both vertically and horizontally inside of your box. And then create a border in your box so that it looks more like a button. Once you do that, the easiest way to create two more is just to right-click, copy, and paste. That way you don't need to recreate the box or the size. The red line can show you have them lined up correctly above each other. We'll paste another one, put it into place. And then you can go ahead and change the text in the box so you have a different answer for the students to choose from. Because this might be used as a pre-assessment or a mid-chapter assessment, I'm going to add text, or not just text, but I'm going to add a picture of a map. As you can see, you can choose from your computer or from your drive. Insert the picture, resize it to where the size you would like, position it where you would like on the slide. And then just to make sure the students are clear on what state I am asking them about, I am going to add a question mark on to the state so they know exactly which state I'm talking about. Once you have that on, the question mark on there, you can change the font, change it to bold, change the size if you would like it bigger. And I'm going to change the color of the question mark just to draw attention to the question mark for the students. Once you have created that, the next step is to create the next slide. So you need a set of 3 slides for each question. The next slide that we're going to create and once again, you can change the style of the slide, center it vertically and horizontally. And I'm going to create the slide that says correct. So if they click on the correct answer, they will come to this slide that says correct. You can always change the font, the size, make it look how you would like it to look. And then since we are doing a geography quiz, I'm going to add a picture of a globe on the correct slide. Once you choose one that you like, you can either preview the image or just click on it and insert it into your slide. You can resize the image and move it to wherever you would like on the slide itself. Now, if they have the correct answer, we want to remember they want to be able to go on to the next question. So we need to create that button that says next question that will direct us to the next question of our quiz. So you can create a text box again and create, using whatever font and size you would like, something that says next question or move on or whatever you would like to say, but that directs students to the next part of the quiz. I will also put a border around this so it looks more like an actual button. And we have created our correct slide. We need to create one more slide, and that's our incorrect slide. Although this takes us time to create these 3 slides, every question after this, we can just copy and paste and then adjust to each individual question. So it will not take as much time once you have these 3 created. I am going to ask for an X clip art just to show the students that they have the incorrect answer. Insert that into my slide. Resize it to the size that I would like it to be. Move the image. I centered it on the page horizontally and vertically, well, not horizontally, just vertically. Then add a text box that will give me the clue that I would like to give the students. You don't necessarily always have to give them a second clue, and depending on your subject matter, it will be more or less appropriate to give them a next clue. But since this isn't a final assessment, I wanted to give them an extra clue to head them in the right direction toward the correct answer. Then you want to direct them back to the question so that they can try again. They had it wrong the first time, so you want to make sure they have an opportunity to get it right. So you need to send them back to the question again. So we'll say try again. Now, once you have these 3 slides created, the rest of the quiz will go faster. But before we move on to the rest of the quiz, we need to add those directions on the slides to make them go back or forward to the correct slide. So you'll right-click on the box and go to link. Now this is the incorrect answer, so we want to send it back to slide 3 because it's incorrect. So we click on slide 3. Then we go to Idaho, you right-click, go to link, and Idaho is also the incorrect answer, so we're sending that one to slide 3. Washington is the correct answer. So as you can see, slide 2 is where we would like to send the students if they select Washington, which is the correct slide. So now we have the correct one, slide 2, the incorrect ones, both are directed to slide 3. If we go to the correct page, we want to direct them to the next question. So we need to add another slide because the next question will start on slide 4. Go back to the correct page and direct it by linking it to slide number 4, which will become our next question, as we saw at the beginning in the example. Then lastly, we need to go to the incorrect, and we need to direct them back to the question, which is slide number 1, so that they can try again. So right click on slide or on link, then on slide number 1 to send them back to the first question, so they have an opportunity to try again. Once we have these 3 slides completed, then we can go ahead and add additional questions to the slides. So here's these 3 slides again, and all you need to do now is copy and paste these slides, or duplicate the slides for a whole slide, or you can copy and paste just parts of the slide if you would like, but you can duplicate the slide. Then we can take this, which we want to move to the next one down, move the slide down there, and make the appropriate changes for the next question, changing the text, the map picture, and changing the links to each one, because we'll have to link to a different number slide for the next question. Then once you've completed all of those, or maybe once you've completed the first 3, you can make them more visually appealing by adding borders to them or shadows to them to make them more look like buttons. There's endless possibilities of what you could do to make it look more visually appealing. I would like to show you one more example of interactive slides, and this one is a math one. So once again, I give that present reminder in a slide for the students to remind them to put it in present mode. Then this one is on shapes. So it says, look at the shape on each slide and click on the correct name for that shape. So let's start the quiz. Right here, we have what shape is this? And we can choose from a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, or an acute triangle. So if they click on a right triangle, they'll see that they're correct, and you can go on to the next question. Now here we have another shape. So let's just say the student guessed an octagon. Okay, so we click on, this time it says not quite. Remember, count the number of sides to determine the shape's name. So if the student forgot how they needed to determine the name, they could count the number of sides. So we go back to try again. And this time, let's say they chose the pentagon, they get the correct answer. So we can move on to the next question. Same thing here, a new shape is given. Let's say they chose rectangle to start out with. And once again, it says not quite. Remember, look at all the sides for length and whether they are parallel to other sides. So it gives them the clue that hopefully can help them recall the definition of the words we're trying to ask them about. So we try again, and let's say they went to trapezoid and they get the correct answer. Another nice thing to add is if that was your last question, I direct them where they need to go in the class. So if they're working on this independently and practicing, once they get to this and feel they're ready, it says you are now ready to take the quiz on chapter 3. It tells you to go to my Google Classroom, and it gives the further directions of what I would like them to do. I hope this has been interesting to learn how to make interactive slides and an interactive quiz on Google Slides. If you would like to learn more about how to create these or how to make them more visually appealing to your students once you've created the basics, please contact me, Tina Bossenbrook, at WGTE for a full-length professional development on how to create interactive slides and interactive quizzes. Thank you.